A very good evening and welcome to MCube's live webinar. I guess this is the fifth or sixth webinar that we are organizing from our end. And today we have some very auspicious guests and a very interesting company who would be committing with us today. So today we have connected over the cloud, or we have connected in this meeting to have a discussion about how a CRM and a cloud telephony integrated together can actually bring out more efficiency and more productivity for your team and for your business. So, let me just go ahead and first introduce our guests. And today we have VK Kirubakaran, who would be one of the VP sales of our organization. He has over 25 years of extensive experiences in sales and in the telecom department as well. He has worked in many auspicious organizations such as HCL. He has also worked in other companies all over the world throughout his 25 years of experience. He had a MBA in marketing, has done a diploma in electronics and CAAD center. He is also a certified ISO auditor and currently is here as the vice president at MQ. And if I talk about our second guest, Tejas Mehta, who is the Vice President of Revenue Operation in Cell.do, he has more than 15 years of experience in driving revenue growth, strategic planning in SaaS platforms. As a Vice President in Revenue Operation at Cell.do, he oversees the complete customer journey. How does a customer comes in, whatever is that the customer should experience while he's onboarded, while he's using the platform. His dynamic leadership focuses on delivering exceptional results, and that is something we know from him, the guy, the man himself. And so here on, I would like to first, moving on to that part as well, I would first set the agenda of what this complete webinar depends upon. So today we are focusing on real estate as a major challenge. So the major challenge that the industry is facing, that they are able to get leads, they are able to connect to leads, but due to some reason they are losing track, or at some point they are ending up which is not getting delivered of what is expected of those leads. So these are the few questions, these are the few problem statements that we are trying to address today. And now I would like to pass the mic to Tejas, who would be giving a little bit of introduction of how their organization Cell.do came up with a solution and is trying to go ahead and solve this problem. Tejas, what do you think today's major problem that people are facing when it comes to uh, real estate, and how does a CRM or a powerful CRM like yours actually helps in solving the problem?
Hey, hello everyone. Good evening, and thanks Uttaran for the introduction. Glad to be here. Glad to talk to everyone who has joined. So, like you said, real estate as an industry, right? It's one of the most volatile industries. Okay, we're currently sitting almost at a $5 million dollar market in India. Okay, and it is some it is an industry which is bound to grow over at least next 10-20 years if you look at the housing ownership in India, right? So from where Sell.do started its journey, or what we are trying to solve for is, as an industry, the offering, which is a house, a commercial uh, office space, a land. See, these are all the assets which are highest merchandise value, right? You don't have anything which has this big merchandise value in any other industry. So while the industry is, in the business of doing a sale of such a big merchandise, I think there is a lot of scope for getting organized, utilization of technology, in this space. Now, in our 12-year journey, what we have realized is the buyer preferences are changing, the market landscape changes, right? And as a technology platform, there is certainly a value add that is needed to get better. So, if I talk about the recent times, right, getting digital getting online with your transactions, getting to, cater to your customers is a problem or is something which every developer is trying to solve for, right? So how can technology help you get better? And in the scope of the entire life cycle in real estate, I think what we focus on is the sales marketing side of it. So, in a most layman's way, I think we are here to make sure that technology makes the sales marketing in real estate more and more efficient, and the industry keeps growing. That's pretty much what the whole business eventually comes down to.
Agreed, Tejas. Now, what is as per your suggestion? Like, as you are heading one of the CRMs, one of the leading CRM business in the market today, as per your suggestion, yes, people do need a CRM to manage their leads. Yes, people do need a CRM to track of exactly what's happening. But what would you personally use if you're a real estate, let's say you're a real estate person who is dealing with real estate, what would you personally use other than a CRM that would actually help you enhance your productivity?
See, when I look about the CRM space, it's basically your lead management, booking management, that entire life cycle. Like I said, it's the sales marketing funnel that you are looking at optimizing. So you look at the market today, right? Back in 2010, 2015, I think digital marketing wasn't picking up that much, right? People were still going back with the old methodologies of, let's say, print ads, hoarding ads, radio ads. And now suddenly there's a shift towards digitization, right? The competition in the market is increasing. So I think if it is up to me, the first and the foremost problem that needs to be solved is, hey, how can I ensure that I connect with my potential customer to the best of my abilities, right? So when I say connect, I think we have gone far off from saying ki, someone just sends an inquiry to us, I will call the person in my own time, I'll hope that the person will pick up my call, and eventually there will be a positive conversation. I think the market has got a cutthroat competition. Okay. Look at last 5 years, the amount of firms that have come up who are helping developers sell, the amount of launches which developers are doing, right? So in this space, see, the buyers are the same at the end of the day. The demand is there, it is increasing, but it's not that if I suddenly develop 1,000 apartments, there are 10,000 new buyers that have suddenly come in the market, right? So I think the first and the foremost problem which CRM or technology in general can help us solve, which I would use the CRM for, is, hey, if someone is showing interest in me at this time, 5:13 p.m., right? Can I ensure that I touch base with this person by 5:15 p.m.? Because if
Correct.
not, probably he is already talking to someone else, right?
Agreed.
Second, if you look at the amount of money that goes into sales and marketing, right? We spend lakhs of money into hoardings, digital, so many channels out there. At the end of the day, every business needs to understand where is my money going, right? So for me, I think understanding of ROI, the activities that I'm doing, the money that I'm pumping, how it is eventually coming to me in return. Is my math working out? Hey, I don't need a booking which, let's say, is happening at a 10%, right? As a developer, I know that my math works out if the booking sets in between 2 to 4% of my advertising cost, right? So I would probably use the CRM to understand the ROI piece, ensuring that I run my business properly. And lastly, I think with so many norms that are coming up in the country, right? We never had something like a RERA. Okay, I think such moves have got to a point where delivering on time and everything has now started becoming a norm for real estate as an industry, right? We have not witnessed so many stringent rules, policies, which are, of course, good for the industry, good for the buyers. But with all of this, what is my USP, right? So I would look at CRM's third use case as catering to the expectations that the customers have, which is a mind blowing experience. An experience where, a person feels ki, okay, if there are two same 2 BHKs available for me to eventually buy into, right? The experience that my buying journey had with one of the developers versus the other probably makes a difference to me. I'll talk about very simple things, right? We spoke about catering to the lead, calling back the lead. So ensuring that, we touch base the person at the right time. So understanding what that right time is. Sending a very nice templatized message on WhatsApp, which, talks about my brand, which talks about my legacy. Because see, that's what the industry is all about, right? You look at the people today, the legacy, the brands, their story is what makes us big. So I don't want a WhatsApp message to go from my agent directly saying, ki, sir, can we speak? Can I schedule your site visit? No, probably I want a nice message that is talking about my story, talking about my brand to go automatically, right? WhatsApp, I'm sure everyone these days is using. So these small, small experiences, the experience that I have on a site visit, right? When I enter, when I see everything that's happening, the moment I step out of the site, I get a feedback message saying, we would love to have your feedback, right? Rather than probably giving me cost sheets and quotations, which are pen paper or not with a proper commitment. I would love to have a quotation that directly comes to me over my WhatsApp or an email address. Because see, that's what increases my trust in the brand that I'm interacting with. So for me, I think that customer experience piece would be the third major USP where CRM plays a very important role into real estate.
Well, thank you so much. Now the mic is again handed to you, Tejas. Please continue.
Yeah. Okay. So, we always talk about, what can technology do, what can the different solutions do. But I think it's very important to understand what are the real challenges, right? Because, see, you don't want to create a solution that is of no use or it's just an add-on to probably the 10 different tools that as a business you are already doing. So if you look at certain challenges that, selling a property in general comes with, right? So at a marketing level, I think the biggest problem is we don't get to see a proper tracking, right? Today, I'm sure at most of the places, advertising data never talks to the CRM data. If you look at an entire funnel, how do you visualize a real estate funnel, right? So you have leads, you have qualified leads, then you have site visit, then you have bookings. What do I do differently in my marketing activity to, let's say, make a difference in the middle of the funnel or bottom of the funnel? That's something which is completely missing. Why? Because advertising and CRM or the customer interactions majority of the times work in silo. So today, when digital is picking up so much, the beauty is the kind of optimizations that we can do, wherein, a campaign that's not working today doesn't need to run tomorrow. I can make changes, but I need to really understand what's working and what's not working. And it's not just about the leads, right? Maybe there's a platform which gives you a better CPL, but doesn't drive visits. Not sure if that platform is of any good use to us. So I need to have that full funnel visibility. I need to have a proper tracking into place, right? Now, we also were some time back talking about the customer experience, the brand story, and a lot of times, these things make a difference because at the end of the day, what you want is a buyer to have recall. So we lack a lot of nurturing and engagement to these people, right? Because at the end of the day, see, real estate is not something which, I'll go over a weekend, I like it, I buy it. It's a longer cycle. Okay. In most of the cases, bearing a few investors out there in the market, it's a very emotional buy, right? It's majority of the people, it's a buy which happens once in a lifetime. So I'm not going to make a decision today if I look at a particular property today. So I want to stay on the top of the mind of that potential buyer. I want to nurture this particular customer. I want to tell him why he should or she should invest, why he or she should buy. It might be the brand, it might be the location, it might be the appreciation. So that continuous nurturing is really important, right? Lastly, I think what's most important is the consistency that a brand gives to the customer, right? Today, sales for real estate involves a lot of things. There are a lot of activities which developers are doing. There are a lot of partners. The markets are driven by partners these days in most of the places in India, right? So, how can I ensure that irrespective of which touch point the customer is coming to, it's the same communication that's going to these potential buyers? No false commitments, no wrong portraying of information. So that inconsistency, I feel, is one of the major challenges that, we feel. Now, while we spoke about, from a marketing or a customer experience brand perspective, the moment you come into the middle of the funnel, right, where our pre-sales agents on a daily basis are trying their level best to attempt 100 calls, 150 calls, take their talk time to 2 hours and all of that. Plus our salespeople who are, working there, like giving out their best to convert a customer who has walked onto the site. See, they have their own set of challenges, right? For example, a lot of times we have seen that a site visit which is scheduled by a pre-sales person, okay, goes as a WhatsApp ping to a salesperson, right? Where are this customer will visit. Now, as a salesperson, I have no context of what happened previously. What is this customer expecting? So I again start my conversation from zero. So Uttaran, just imagine, you have spoken to someone, you have, discussed all your requirements on day one, right? You walk onto a site over a weekend, and then again, let's say a salesperson starts asking you, Acha sir, can you tell me what are you looking for? Not the best thing, right? Wherein
Not
imagine if I now start with a very personalized pitch saying, hey Uttaran, I know you are looking for a two-bedroom apartment, right?
correct.
This is the kind of budget that you are looking for, and I know you are looking for a ready possession apartment. I have this particular tower. Let me show the available inventory. See, you feel like this person knows about you, he cares about you, and that's the experience that we want to deliver to our people, right? So that I
100%.
think is one of the major challenges. Second, I think the industry is known for a lot of big wins that we do. We do 500 apartments, 10,000 inventory, and all of that. But still, if you see the negotiations and inventory management, all of that happens in a very offline manner. It's always a pen paper where transactions happen. The approvals are taken over WhatsApp. So it's a lot of context that stays with a particular person. What this gives as a challenge to the customer in front is pretty much the lack of transparency. Majority of the buyers today are IT buyers. They are becoming evolved. They are tech savvy, right? So the moment I don't have a proper software systems that are taking care of all these things, right? What happens is that this person always feels ki there's something that this guy is hiding, or you are always looked at as a sales guy, okay, where it's not my benefit but it's this guy's benefit that he is trying to pull off. Wherein now imagine a situation where you have a proper inventory management, everything is transparent onto the platform. You open something, you look at the inventories, you click on a unit, you see the cost sheet. The buyer doesn't feel that as a salesperson he or she is manipulating something, right? There's a lot of transparency that goes to the buyer, which I think is missing in a lot of places. Lastly, if I have to talk about the industry benefit also, right, in the sales, because that's where the money comes in. While it is recovered over the period of next 2 to 3 years, sales is where money is minted in the industry. Now, there, a lot of time we are not able to make decisions in terms of what to launch at, what price should I sell at, right? Normal calculation is I have bought a land at certain cost. Okay, I was holding it for a certain period, so it should have appreciated to a certain number. There is a additional construction cost that's added to it. So average rate that I need to sell my project is, let's say, X rupees per square feet. Now the challenge is one size does not fit all, right? There are certain units in the project which probably doesn't sell. You are going to end up with a dead inventory, right? There are certain units or certain inventory in the project which really has a better demand. So can we capitalize on this demand? Can we really have some analysis in terms of what's selling, what is not selling, right? Probably do something with the dead inventory at a lower cost. Try to capitalize on the premium when it comes to the high demand that is already there. So things like, let's say there's a project where 3 BHKs are in demand. 3 BHK 1150 is a very good carpet at that location. I would rather like to increase the rate a little bit there rather than selling everything at the same cost, because though the sold inventory is giving me the required average, the inventory that is unsold at the back is the baggage that I'm going to carry post this launch, right?
Correct.
And lastly, as a whole, if you see, there's a big need for incorporating that culture of getting technology savvy, right? It's not just what systems we deploy or what tools and technologies are utilized, it's the whole mindset. where we say that, okay, we are a digitally run organization. Okay, we are a paperless journey. We provide paperless journey to our customers in terms of buying experience. So I think that mindset is one of the biggest challenges, which at least I have seen a lot of people making a shift in. But if you ask me, the two drastic differences where one organization, let's say, is looking at deploying technology versus second organization who is, kind of talking about incorporating the culture, right? The same technology gives much more better results, is much more utilized when you talk about the second approach. So that's pretty much what you see as a problem with sales and the marketing journey. And last journey, which comes at the end of the funnel, is when the actual money comes in, which is your CRM or post sales activities, right? Where see you get almost 10%, 15% in the initial days. It's over next 2 to 3 years where you are going to keep generating demands, collecting the money from the customers, and all of that. So here, what I personally believe is, you know, see, finance comes at a cost, right? So small delays that happen in collection result into a big loss at a P&L level. So, you lack documentation. Because of that, let's say there are time gaps, right? The follow-ups are not captured. I have seen that pre-sales, sales, these are the two departments where, we are super keen on understanding how many calls did you make, how many follow-ups did you make, did you talk to this customer? When you talk about post sales as an activity, right? Because probably we feel that the booking is confirmed, a lot of time these factors or these parameters are neglected. Because of which, what happens is there is a delay, there's a lag. And now everyone knows the amount of money that one particular stage, demands. So let's say your tower has reached a certain stage, all your buyers are supposed to, let's say, give 10% more amount. That's a huge chunk of money. So on an average, 15, 20, 30 days of delay to recover that amount at, let's say, a 15, 17% finance cost is a huge number, right? Second, prediction of cash flows also goes for a toss when you don't have a technology platform. Because ultimately, every business runs on cash flows. I need to understand that, my cash flows run in a certain way. I need to understand how is my construction happening? How does that construction eventually results into cash flow? Right? So that entire visibility or understanding is really difficult to have when you don't have systems telling you all of this, right? And Excel with 500 booking data cannot give me this clarity ki, okay, I am supposed to get XYZ crore in December 2024. So, and that's the most important, that's the fuel which is needed for the business to keep running, right? And lastly, in the customer side of the story, post booking, right? I think there's a lot that can happen in terms of the experience again. So I need to access my ledger every time a customer wants to make a payment, right? And especially this is a mentality that we see. See, I don't have problem in paying the demand, but I want to really verify ki everything in the previous demands is completed. This is my only due. You are not charging anything extra from me. See, that's the typical buyer mentality, right? Especially the masses which are buying today. See, investors don't care. They know that any which ways the deal will happen. But the mass buyers really care about all of these things, right? So how can I make that experience better? Okay, there's too much of manual activity that happens here because every time you are sending a demand, let's say the buyer wants to go back, he'll call saying ki, send me my demand, all the ledgers again. I want to see my payment receipts again. Because let's say if I am on a bank loan and if I want to apply for a bank loan, right? I need to submit the proof of all the payments that have been done so far, and I don't have an access. So an interface or some channel for these customers also to engage with the brand, talk about their grievances, and eventually for the brands also to utilize the power of existing customers. And I think this is for every business. Even we all believe in this, right? That you don't have a better advocate than your existing customers. They are the best representative or the champions that the brand can have. So nurturing them, utilizing them, giving them a good experience, even when they have booked with you, right? So when you talk about, let's say, Sell or Do or MCube, I think we have already discussed this so many times that the focus is not just on acquiring the customers. It's always about servicing the customers, ensuring that, they get the best of the services. And I think that's something which goes in every industry. So if I have a very good experience post buying also, there's still a lot of business potential that is unexplored, is what I feel. So yeah, I think that's these are all the challenges that keep coming when you talk about the whole sales journey in real estate. And uh, these are the places where I think the technology piece is missing a lot. Now, the reason why I want to talk about technology challenges particularly, right, is so it's been 10 years that I have been with Cellodo deploying solutions, and I also head that solutioning department, right? So one thing that we have always been asked from the customers is, what, we completely understand there should be technology. Okay, we also understand the technology's advantage and everything. Choosing the right technology is always a problem, right? Because there are multiple factors that come into picture, right? So just wanted to highlight on a few things which are a challenge when you talk about identifying the technology, right? See, the most important factor I think in every decision that happens around a business is the cost. So what is the right cost to be invested in technology is, I think, the first entry point for any conversation while a discussion is happening. So I think there, it's not just about the cost, right? It can be a very small cost or it can be a very big cost, but I think we should always look at it from a perspective key, what is this cost giving me in return, right? So I can always have, let's say, technology platforms which are probably not that costly, right? Because see, software technology in India is booming these days. So there is no way that you say that, these are the only five options you have. You step out in the market and you will see 50 people standing there, because that's how the evolution has happened in the industry today, right? So that is what I feel, it's not just about the cost. Is this software solving for my problem? Is this particular technology giving me that boost which I really need, right? When you look at real estate as an industry, there is too much to do with, let's say, data privacy laws, right? Where is my data getting stored? How is that data being handled? Then it's a very volatile industry, right? You want to make changes, you want to experiment. So every time if I am going back and wanting to change a particular piece in the technology, right? How flexible is that technology to accommodate my requirements? So you'll always have something which is, a very cost effective solution, works for you on day one, might not be the same when it comes to 6 months of operations. Why? Because your demands changed, your expectation changed, but maybe that was not something which the technology platform you bought into supposed to do. On the other side, you will also have technology platforms which come with a lot of support system, wherein there are implementation partners, there's a support staff, but at the end of the day, is it really worth it? Is the cost, time invested, utilized in doing all of this really worth the experiment that I'm trying to run, right? So I think that's where the gap is. And uh, what I particularly like to do with the offerings that we have, or what we come up with the market, is it should always be a comfortable spot for the buyer. It's not about the cost, it's not about the features or technology. The ROI has to be the focus. I can always give a little bit extra as long as I believe that, yes, there is an incremental value that a solution or a technology or anything that I buy gives back to me, right? So we can move on from this. Okay. So I think we kind of covered what real estate challenges are. We spoke about how technology pieces are missing, and wherever technology can come into picture, uh, it makes the operations better. Now, if you look at the volume in which the funnel works, right? It's your top of the funnel where lead generation to site visit is the biggest challenge. So catering to the customers, communicating to the customers, giving them a better experience is something which is really, really crucial. And this is probably where the value of an integrated platform comes into picture, wherein, strong CRM platform which helps you navigate through the entire sales journey is backed by a very robust communication engine that helps you interact with your customers with calling and WhatsApp, everything coming back, giving you one single view. So I would like to, hand it over to VRK sir to kind of give us some glimpse of, how this integrated platform is beneficial for all of us.
Sure, sure, sure. Uttarayan, can I take it over?
Please, sir, the stage is yours. We are waiting
Yeah,
for you.
thank you. Thank you very much. Tejas, I really appreciate the insight what you have given to our audience. I really hope this was very useful and given a lot of inputs and ethics for them. So, actually, what I would like to share to the audience here, because from the research from the real estate builders whom we have spoken and understand, there are about five major the issues what they face in the as a business owners. For example, if we talk about the economic volatility and market fluctuations. See, this is the one of the major issues what they face it. So in that, what is the issue? If you see a decreased property demand, stagnant property value, because there is a value is not getting increased at all, and if you see the increased competition, it's happening. If you see the solutions for that, we need to have we need to develop the adaptive strategies depending on the situation, depending on the scenario. We need to see how you are adapting to the situations, and this we need to change the strategies, and also have a diversification of investment portfolios. The portfolios to be diversified, the portfolios, and also focusing on the properties with the consistent demand. See, today there will be some properties will have a consistent demand. There will be some locations where will be a consistent demand, where we need to have a like a rental properties. The rental properties always is a consistent demand from the research what we have made and from the inputs what we got from the builders. And staying well in focused about the market trends. The audience, I would request all of you to stay focused on the market trends. What is the trend in this industry? How are we moving? How the industry is evolving? And are we in the track on the technological development? Or we in how we can increase the number of leads, or how we can reach the clients very fast? But how that can be recorded? These are the trends. What I'm trying to say. This can be adopted. So, coming to the next point of the regularity hurdles and legal complexities. This is basically another major hurdles faced by this industry, the real estate industry, where now and then there is a changes in the regularity, so legalities, and there is complex zoning laws and property rights and environment regularities. So, if you see the solutions for that, engage legal experts who can give guidance and inputs to see how you can make or handle the situations to come out of that, or to make things to happen, and also conduct through a due diligence. You would have intelligence how to make that to happen. So this is on the regulatory aspect. When we get into the technology disruption and innovation, this is very one important issues faced by this community. That is how listed, how marketed, how transacted. Because you have a very big properties, and you have an excellent facilities given, but how are you going to market that? How are you going to make listed at that? So that makes a lot of differences among your peers or among your other builders. So you need to see how you can do that, because listing, marketing, and transacting is very important. So in fact, I have certain solutions. The virtual property tools what you can make, which will help you to have a reach to your clients. Virtual property tools, they don't have to visit, they can say this is a virtual property tool. And online listing, you can do the online listing of this one, and data analytics. Okay. And this all will enhance your customer experiences, streamline the operations, and stay relevant in a digital age. See, today, you talk about 10, 15 years, we were not having a WhatsApp. And today, there is no guy without a WhatsApp. Anything and everything, yeah, WhatsApp I've done. Anything and everything, SMS I've done. So that the technology savvy is become more, and we need to get adopted and updated on the technology. In fact, why we are here, why we have done so much research and to support this community is to how you can have more reach, more property sold at a very shorter time. How you can lead a generation. In fact, I have some 6 7 points on that front. I will talk about that after completing the issues faced. And the fourth point, what I want to say is rising cost and affordability concerns. See, today, the construction cost, you when you are starting the construction, you have certain budget. But as the time moves, the prices goes up, cement prices goes up, bricks prices goes up, your cost is getting increased, and land prices getting increased, and property taxes. So what is the solution? You have explore the sustainable and cost-effective construction practices. Please follow the standard operating procedures. If there are some organization or the builders not following up, have a SOPs. We call that as a technology terminal as a standard operating procedures. Have that in place, and anything, everything, create the documents and process so that your team will follow, so that they will have a clarity on how to sustain the business, and collaborate with the local government to promote affordable housing initiative. So this is another way you can look at it. How do you manage the affordability concerns, and exploring the financing options cater to the home buyers. Today, anyone who are in the they wanted to buy a home, so you need to see how you can cater to this home buyer segment, which is the major segment, definitely. So, like this, the last one on this challenges, what I see is a changing consumer preferences. See, today, what 5 years back the consumer was having a preferences, today is changed. Even 2 years back, what it was, today it has got changed. The facility in the room or facility in the houses. So, home buyers, when they buy, go for automation, fully automated. They wanted to control the lighting, everything from there, wherever from the office, all that. So if you see that modern home buyers and seek properties often, which they want energy efficiency and smart home features and sustainable designs. They look at the designs which is more attractive. They are ready to pay. See, today the in fact, I have the average cost prices which is happening in Mumbai, Delhi, and Gurugram. I will share that. So we have to stay attended to the consumer preferences, investing in eco-friendly technology, and promoting green building practices and showcasing the properties can attract a growing segment. Identify each locations depending on the segment of people who live there. There will be a different choices, different people who like different preferences. Accordingly, you give the facilities and features. I'm sure you guys will have a property sold. And when you see the key benefits of cloud telephony and CRM and for CRM for real estate, this is actually a lead management, improved lead management, that is total turnaround time to reach out to the lead and tracking the sales performance. See, today, when the customer wanted to buy a property, they are not only contacting you, they are contacting others too. So how quickly you are responding to their call, that makes from there the actually the interaction starts. Whoever is first interacting and capturing and making them to come and see the property or visual to property, that makes. So how you manage lead? So you get about 100 leads or 200 leads, you cannot cover. So that is where the CRM and cloud telephony is going to help. Suppose you have got a 1,000 plus homes or flats built on a property, you cannot reach 1,000 into about 1,000 or 1,000 into 10,000. So many clients will be asking for a property. So to have a lead managed, how effectively you need to manage, how effectively you can reach, how quickly you can reach, what is the shortest time you can reach. This is the where we are going to help you to make that lead management. Sales productivity. See, you might have about 1,000 people inquired about your flat, but how quickly you have the sales productivity, how quickly the sales close, that we are going to help you on the automating the repetitive task with the reminders, enhanced efficiency with the CRM automation. See, why Sell.2 and MCube is together to offer these solutions to you and technology to you to increase your revenues, increase your quick reach to the clients, to make things to happen, right? And enhanced customer experience and conversations. See, if you say conversion is very, very important from the lead, as our Tejas was mentioning it, from the cold to lead to so there are different stages of the leads. So how you quickly give the customer experience to make the conversions, whether it's a personalized communication or faster responses or automation in communication, which reduce the dependency on sales. Today, definitely there are a lot of automation can be done through a voice blast, through a SMS, through a WhatsApp. So here we are here. Actually, when you are very, very veteran in real estate, your industry, and how to build, we are here to give a solution to you how to manage your incoming leads and how to reach more leads, how to quickly convert that leads. So we have that solutions. So you are expert in that, we are expert in this. Let's see how we can align it together to make things to happen, to increase your revenues, right? And real time insights and reporting. So we have all these facilities which will be a key benefits to as a builder like you to have more revenues. Yeah, I'll go to the next point. Okay, so if you look at, yeah, we'll go to the previous slide, please. Okay, see, if you look at the, apart from this, I wanted to have more points covered on the why you have to look at this technology trend. See, today, the lead management, sales automation, analytics, how many leads have come, how many leads been attended, how quickly it is attended, and how many got converted, where it stands, everything, anything and everything. If you are going to do it manually, which is very tedious, seriously, I'm telling you, today things have moved. If you are going to have to travel from one place to another place, we were traveling in a cart, we were traveling in a bike, traveling in a car. Today we take according to the time what we have, we take an ad or as per our requirement, the property get listed. And how you can make a client relationship and making a marketing automation and manage the tenant if they're rental properties and manage properties and transactions seamlessly. This gives a transaction seamlessly, and also each project tracking also is possible. And how do you engage the customer? This is very, very important, where you can engage the customer such a way that he has a excellent experience to see how quickly you are responding, how quickly you are giving a proposal, how quickly you are showing the property. So all this is helping, going to help to improve the revenue. Suppose you are at the X, we are going to give you through our solutions and technology how you can make it 2x or 3x, or if you are going to have a turnaround time for this many days, we are here to give in lesser than that how we can make the deal is closed. And to be frank, which I was doing a research on this industry, our industry, the India is about 400 lakh crore turnover is today. The real estate industry as on today, it is 400 lakh crore, and it is going to grow to the extent of 1000 lakh crore by another 3 to 5 years. And this is contributing today 7.3% of the GDP for the country. And if you see, as you all know, the top cities are Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Kolkata, and Pune. And if you see overall in the last year, 23-24, we have to go for a question and answer session, I know, but still this is very important, which I wanted to cover it. Mumbai is contributed about or sold about 27% market share in India. NCR is about 17%, Bangalore is about 16%. And in 2023, the top 8 cities of India saw a surge in the demands despite high mortgage rates and property prices. Can you believe Kolkata stands 25% of that in the last 8 cities of that what I mentioned, which is year-on-year increase. If you see, previous year of Calcutta is about 25% growth, and Hyderabad is about 21%, Ahmedabad is 17%. Out of these 88 cities, these 3 cities are managed. And what is driving this growth? Urbanization. Today, urbanization is making the driving of changing. People buying behavior is changed. People wanted to buy, and now two people are working, both the husband and wife, both are working, and they wanted to buy a property, and urbanization is making. And infrastructure development. Today, infrastructure is getting developed so well, and this is driving the second factor, expansion of job centers. See, today, when we see only metro cities used to have a jobs opportunities, today B, C, D class cities. Even if you see the, if you get an announcement that Infotech Park is coming in Madurai, Infotech is parking in deep south of Andhra Pradesh, Infotech Park is coming in deep south of not New Delhi. So it's all D, E class cities up to TF5 cities also getting developed. And if you see the districts about 5 years back, today the number of districts have increased. So one more important point what I wanted to say is, what is the emerging segments if you see senior citizen people living and co-living and data centers. These are the three segments from our research is the emerging segments, because today the son and daughter working in different places, they're all living in different places. The senior citizen, in fact, I know, in fact, I come from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and I see the children are in US or somewhere, but the parents are sitting in one place. So, and they are sitting in a villa which has been purchased, and they are given it to the senior citizens. What I'm saying, the senior citizens living and co-living and data centers are the emerging segments. So definitely these are the points and the inputs what I am here to give you. Right, I hand over to Uttarayan.
Well, thank you so much for that insight, VRK.
Thank
So,
you.
while you guys were going ahead and introducing the complete ordeal of how the challenges people face today and what could be the options that would actually help them to come out of this challenge, there are a few set of questions that we received. So, the first one is something that I like to ask VRK again. Is the audience would like to know how a cloud telephony service would actually help in enhancing their marketing and improve the business.
Okay. See, today, when we see cloud telephony, which is enabling the real-time tracking and insights, which can significantly improve the effectiveness of marketing campaigns. See, today, how effectively you are going to market your campaigns is very, very important. And that gives a reach to your clients, customers. So the effective marketing campaigns are very, very important. In that aspect, I would like to say tracking callbacks and engagement. See, when you're going to have a cloud telephony integrated with marketing platforms, business can track how many leads call back after receiving a campaign message. So this tracking callbacks and engagement will help you to have. And if you see the campaign attribution, when the call is made in response to the different campaigns, can be tagged and tracked and providing insight into the which campaigns are driving the most. See, today you need to see which campaign is going to give more business revenue for you. You need to have test on that. Accordingly, if some one is giving a more revenues, you need to see or strengthen that campaigning, which is going to give more revenues and more selling of your flats. Call analytics. See, today, when you want to have a cloud telephony which is going to offer the analytics, like a call duration, how much the call duration has happened, how many minutes they spoke, and what is the call quality and response time. I was talking in the beginning also, how quickly you respond to the lead. That is the first impression. No, we say always first impression is the best impression. That's the first impression has to come, and he should feel, oh, this is the guy whom I am going to buy a flat. That extent, if he feels that excited, I contacted within 1 hour or 2 hours. This guy has contacted me and taken to me for a virtual tour or invited me to see the flat. So this is how quickly I respond to the calls. That this our CRM and cloud telephony integrated one, which will give you clarity for that, helping you to evaluate the quality of engagements and lead of potential clients. See how quickly you are engaged, how much you are engaged with the clients. So that is going to help from our platform. Customer feedback and surveys. If you look at once a call is done, you can say how the surveys, how the call was handled, what is the feedback. So it's all going to give us satisfaction to the customer, and you can measure the success. See, today people are ready to spend money, people have money, people are earning money, no doubt about it, and the properties are being sold even from few lakhs to few crores. If you see the ad starts with 3.5 crores, if you see some hoardings of some builders, so it's happening, it's in lakhs as well as in crores. So that means there are people available to afford from the lakhs to few crores, even 10 crores, 15 crores, like that. So what I'm saying is, you need to take a feedbacks and surveys from the clients and to see how quickly you do that. Campaign optimization. If you see call tracking and business processing, all that is going to give the real-time campaigning and support to you. Right? Over to Uttarayan.
Well, there's another question from one of our attendees, and this one is for Tejas. So, how can a CRM tool help or enhance the strength and the lead tracking of my company?
Okay, so I think the CRM tool technically takes care of your entire journey, right? So from,
Correct.
let's say, lead generation till a booking or a handover. So your efficiency gets better in two to three different ways. One is, you start getting an understanding and tracking of what source got this lead, right? So your marketing efficiency gets better because basis these analytics, you can really understand where you should invest, where you should focus on. Second way that CRM drives efficiency is, see, you know what? There's no scope for I forgot to call this customer, right? Or there's no scope for, Array, this was supposed to be done today, but it left. Because CRM is getting you everything on one single page with a lot of help that's coming your way. So you talk about following up with a customer on a certain time, or really understanding, okay, who all do you have in my bucket? Where are they stuck? What are their next action items? And I think the efficiency, whenever you talk about sales process, right, is coming down to one very simple thing, which is discipline and follow-ups. So if as a salesperson, as a pre-sales agent, I get better at follow-ups, if I have that discipline incorporated, that, I will touch base with my customer, I will make sure I reach out to the customer, I think that's where the efficiency starts kicking in, right? The third aspect that I think CRM helps you is the automation and reaching out via multiple channels, right? We all must have heard the term ki omni-channel communication is what we need to tackle, right? And that's where the key is, because today, let's say, take this call as an instance, right? Everyone here are, engaged, and we are not going to pick a call that comes our way at this point of time. However, the moment we get free, right, and we have some time, we might just check that WhatsApp message, which, let's say,
Correct.
someone has sent. Now, I don't need this to, go and do it manually. The CRM can take care of it automatically. So a simple use case, like when a lead comes, I don't want to wait. Okay, the integrated platform with a cloud telephony can automatically dial this customer. Efficiency number one. I spoke to this customer. What message that needs to go, if I have a contact, can automatically go. The system can also be intelligent enough to understand that, okay, if the person has not picked up a call, this is the kind of message that I need to send without any human dependency. And that's where the whole funnel starts becoming more and more efficient. And also, because the two systems complement each other to an extent, you really get omni-channel communication in its very true sense, helping you get better.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that answer. So there is one other question which is very generally asked. So VRK, this one would be for you.
Yeah.
Real estate transaction can take time from lead generation to closing. How can we shorten a sales cycle?
Uttarayan, is a really excellent question. Actually, this is very much needed or very much expected or very much they are facing on a day-to-day basis. See, the sales cycle is very, very important. As I am coming from about 3 decades of experience in the sales, we always talk about, in my previous career, we used to talk about how to shorten, how you close the lead at a very shorter time. And especially real estate should focus on the streamlining the communication. See, today, we cannot be with the same old records, all that. We need to get into the latest trend and the technology which we can reach the clients and addressing on them on the time and automating the task. So I have some 5 points which I can talk about it on this front. See, if you see the leads, we need to have a lead scoring and prioritizing the leads. And for that, I suggest to use the AI to analyze the leads and assign them a score based on their likelihood to convert and allowing your team to focus on the high potential. See, today, there is a clients which will range from any value to the higher value. You need to see which value is going to give or which value you need to focus on. So you need to prioritize. So this is where lead scoring and prioritizing will come into the picture. So you need to advise your team to focus on high potential clients. Even you close one deal, that's a very big deal. Instead of having some five leads of a smaller value, even though the gestation time would be the same almost for any leads, the higher the leads, the higher potential leads you focus, you get more value, as well as almost the same sales cycles for uh, any leads, right? If you come into the other one, you need to have automated follow-ups. You need to, instead of having a manual follow-ups, you have to make the automated one, which will send a messages, reminders to keep leads engaged without delays. See, uh, anything and everything, we need to keep engaging. If there is a gap, other person or competition will come in. So you need to see that you keep engaging that clients hot. We call it a hot lead. So that's how in the sales we call it as, so warm, hot. There are various stages of this, and when we get into the other points of this, seamless communication channels. So what I suggest to have, integrate cloud telephony with your CRM, so that calls, emails, messages is logged and the right person can be done accordingly, right? I also suggest to have an instant response system. The it should be a more instant. Implement AI powered chatbots and IVR systems to answer communications and enabling them to communicate and information sharing. And also the mobile access today, you have to have the technology driven and ensure that agents have a mobile access to contact the leads and close the leads. Right? Thanks, Uttarayan.
Okay. Now, this is the same question that I would like to ask Tejas, as we are case from the telephony background, and I would like to understand of what would Tejas like to add when it comes to the CRM front of it. So,
Got
would you
it.
like to repeat the question, or will you like to take it forward?
No, I can. Not a
Sure,
problem.
please.
So I think, for past 1 hour, we have been talking about this particular thing, right? Wherein
Correct.
the actual magic happens when, you are talking about both these things coming together, right?
Correct.
That's where the whole effectiveness comes into picture. So I think, something that we can definitely look at doing is really understanding where the customer is. So by that, what we mean is ki, see, there are multiple cues that keep coming our way, right, throughout the journey. So there is a call happening, there is a response to a message, there is a response to an email, there's a manual entry that, the pre-sales or the sales has done as a sentiment that, they have basis their conversation. There's the stage of this particular customer. So, first and the foremost thing is really categorizing these leads into their right stages with a holistic view, rather than just saying, okay, this is what I think that, the person is going to do. Hot, warm, cold. I think it has to be a holistic view. So when everything comes back on a single platform, right, that is something which can kick in as an automation. Wherein if someone is calling you up, but let's say he's not replying on WhatsApp, right? I should have some essence of positive and negative, both influencing my decision.
Correct.
So that's what you can do on a CRM front, that you get everything back on one single thing for this particular customer. Secondly, I think the important aspect that comes is making the customer the king, enabling them to have flexibility, transparency. So, we always have this particular push to our clients that, they should have a customer interface. What I mean by that customer interface is ki, something where the person can engage at their own level, right? Something which, they can do at their convenience, gather required information, do a digital transaction. So all
Correct.
these things which a person wants to do can eventually be facilitated by a CRM.
Agreed.
And that's how the CRM piece is going to help us move forward and get better and better in terms of driving efficiency across the funnel.
Great. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much
Over to
for
you,
that.
Tarun.
Thank you so much for that input, Tejas. So I had one more question that I would like to ask both our panelists. So in today we are listening a lot about AI being integrated. Now AI is being integrated at different front, at different levels in the whole. Let's say if we talk about CRM as well, if we talk about telephony as well. Now, how does this AI implementation into the real estate front actually helps when it comes to CRM? Over to you, Tejas.
Okay, I think it's a very good question because see, AI is I think everywhere. It's not just a buzzword anymore, right? It started
Correct.
with a buzzword where AI is happening, but I think it is a fact of matter that AI is going to play a very important role in everyone's life, may it be personal or professional, whichever industry you're talking
True,
about.
true.
But yes, AI is supposed to play a role and it is bound to stay. So and I think. We both as organizations have started our own piece of experimentation of catering to these use cases, but typically if you look at a shorter future, right, because you don't know what's the longer future holding up for all of us, right, but in the next few years what I feel AI can really come handy is one, today a lot of volume is driven by the calling agents, right? So we have been talking about how a robust telephony system and a CRM system helps. That's because the amount of calls that are made under real estate today are very high. And most of the places, right, there is no auditing that happens. See, everything is eventually a feedback loop, right? Someone needs to tell me, ki, Tejas, this is what you are doing good, this is what you are doing bad. And that can only happen when there is quality audits. I have seen that very few places this is deployed, but expecting a person to probably hear 200 calls on a daily basis and giving a feedback, right, is very difficult. I
Correct.
think the first use case I can look at where automation kicks in, the artificial intelligence can come in is really understanding the sentiment. And it's not just so people normally think that, speech analysis, keywords is a part of AI. What I really feel is that's just text to speech and analysis of the transcripting. But really understanding the sentiment. Was I really talking in a particular tone? Was I pushing the conversation in the right direction? Was I being too foresee when the customer was not interested, right? These are
Correct.
very small cues. And at the end of the day, see, it's a human who has to get better to make sure that, AI is a enabler and not someone that replaces it. So I
Correct.
feel that feedback loop, quality audits is one place where definitely AI plays a very important role. Second is, we were talking about that experience piece. We were talking about how, people need to have flexibility. So today, I think we have got very good chatbots out there in the market who can give you pre-configured instructions and all of that. Then we
Exactly.
went to, a phase where there is natural language processing and, there is still a level of understanding and a few options that were being popped onto these people. I think that's another place where, you can really be available for your customer, for your potential clients at any hour of the day. And that's the second AI use case that I really think, because you don't need a staff to be there for 24 hours. But if your buyer wants to interact with you for some reason, right, you should have an interface that can understand what this person is expecting, try and give a solution up to the extent that it can. And eventually, if something's still pending, still make it a point that the moment your next shift starts or the person is available, this is prioritized. So that personalized assistance or interfaces for engagement of customers is another thing that I see as a use case. And lastly, what I feel is with
Correct.
all the data that we have, right, really analyzing these data and qualifying these customers, AI can play a big role. Okay, today we try to derive patterns. कि अच्छा ठीक है, if a booking is happening in first three visits, it's a possibility. From fourth visit, let's say the customer is not very interested. He's just a window shopper, right? Or if he or she resides in a particular locality, there is a higher possibility. So today, what we are trying to do is we are trying to derive patterns because a human mind or an Excel or the tools that are currently available at our disposal, right, are not able to generate insights to a larger set of data that is fortunately still available. It's just that the processing of it and analysis of it is not happening. So that's, I think, my next use case, that, a lot of automated qualification and telling a salesperson, you know what, you don't need to work on these 10 people and invest your bandwidth. Focus on these four because they are your customers who are going to close.
Correct,
I think
correct.
that's where AI can bring a lot of efficiency to our pre-sale sales agents.
Okay. Now, a question to VRK. So, this is again from one of our attendees who have asked this question. So, VRK, how can a cloud telephony help us increase our lead generation or help us generate more quality leads so that there is increase in sales?
Okay, thanks, Uttarayan. I will take this question in this way, basically to say how we can ensure that leads are not missed.
Well,
Okay,
yes.
and see, it's basically when they are going to use a cloud telephony integration, which is going to have a automatic call forwarding, logging features, and which is going to ensure the call are available to the agent and they don't miss any calls and are tracked very efficiently. So the cloud telephony integration is going to help them to use call forwarding and logging the features and ensuring that the calls are routed to the available agent so that no calls are missed. And another point, if you see, it's going to be a 24 by 7 availability with IVR and voicemail. Today, we don't, we don't have to worry about this time the call comes, what happens, that time the call comes, what happens. I work only 9 to 6. Those days have gone. Today, customer wanted availability of 24 by 7. I call because today people work round the clock. There is one husband is working in different timing, wife is working in a different timing. Even they don't meet each other. That actually the industry trend is like that. So whenever they find time in the night or whenever they have a time, they wanted to contact the builder to find their property. So the IVR and voicemail is going to help them, which is which the CRM and cloud telephony integration will help even after office hours. This is being supported, which gets to the voicemail or even chatbots that can collect the details of the clients. And if you see the third point, which is about real time and notifications. See today, this it will be alert to the agents. The new lead is generated, and no call is left unanswered. So any call is answered. There is no call is missed. That's why, in fact, in the starting of our thing, no lead is missed, no call is missed. So that's where, in fact, we talk about it. And if you see more of a, it's going to be a mobile access CRM. The agents have access to the leads and call through their mobile CRM apps so they can respond quality and quickly even wherever they are from. It is not necessarily they need to be in the office and they need to be at one particular location. Today we're all connected. If you have an email and mobile, you get connected anywhere, everywhere. So the mobile access to CRM, they can access the CRM anywhere from anywhere. And call recording and playback, this is one of the another fantastic feature where any call lands, they can record the call and at their convenient time they can they can play it and hear it and accordingly they can address it. So the cloud telephony systems allows call recording that can be reviewed and ensure no details are missed. They don't have to make a note of this. It's they can play anytime, any number of times, and they can listen and they can accordingly take the calls. I hope this inputs helps to the audience.
Well, thank you so much, Viyake, for this input. Now, there are a few points that I would like to add for this question.
Please.
So, how to generate more leads is something that we can do ideally through a auto dialer or what we call a voice blast in our service industry. So, what this allows me to do is get in touch with, let's say, 20,000 leads within a time span of 1 hour. This is what a voice blast can do for me. Let's say I have run a campaign for a newspaper where the incoming calls are coming in a regular basis. That is something which IVR will solve a problem for. Once the IVR goes in, I can generate the lead and the lead is pushed to my CRM panel. So this is something that I'll address both CRM and telephony so that we are in a sync when we go ahead for the next question. But when we talk about generating more quality leads, that is something we do when we reach out to our customers. For if I have a advertisement where I have asked a customer to share their details, it could be a social media advertisement, it could be advertisement that I have done in a website, anywhere for that matter of fact. So I have received 20,000 numbers which needs to be dialed. Once I add it to my CRM, it is really a tedious task for my agent to go and call each of my customer one by one. Because if even one agent does 100 calls a day, and if I have 100 agents, then also it would take at least, let's say, a month or a couple of months for me to go ahead and touch base each customer. So there is a feature what we call as a voice blast, where the customer gets a call from the business side. They pick up the call, they listen to a pre-recorded message, they press one if they're interested, they press two if they are not. The next thing that we also have an option is what we call as a auto dialer. Now in here I have an option where an agent would actually be sitting on the other side to have a conversation. So rather than my agent dialing a number or my agent clicking a button, they can directly get in touch with a customer without doing anything, where the system triggers the call, the system answers the call for the agent, sends a request to the CRM to pop up the lead, for the agent knows of exactly whom the person is he talking to, and this helps in creating more leads and quality leads at the end of the day.
Right.
Now, one question that I have for Tejas is that cloud telephony and CRM together a better experience, and what could exactly we talk about if we talk about this experience and how it can be enhanced?
Sure. Okay, so see, today, in spite of having multiple channels of reaching out, calls still remains one of the primary channel where people interact, right? So if you just analyze the numbers, right, in spite of doing heavy digital campaigns and everything, a developer typically gets 20-25% of their leads, right, still via calls, in spite of advertising on digital media. So I think that's where the starting point is, right? It's not just the engagement with the customer, but getting a customer to enter into your buyer's journey is where the role of integrated technology starts. So I see it as first level, where for a business, it's not two separate platforms, talk to the customer, check the phone number, make an entry in the CRM. No, it's all gone back 10 years probably, because the solutions have been integrated that long, where someone just calls one of our virtual number, the call gets connected, the entry is done in IVR CRM systems, right? So a lot of inefficiencies, manual effort, time lags, they go off, right? Now when you go a little bit higher, okay, into the funnel, deeper into the funnel, what you'll realize is a CRM integrated with IVR gives you a lot of control, okay, on doing a lot of automations. For example, I can always have a bulk dialer that kicks in when a lead is generated into a system, in spite of that being a website lead.
Correct.
Today, on a normal scenario, if someone is inquiring on a website, right, and the lead comes and sits in my bucket, it's up to me to figure out when do I want to call. That's the setup that most of the technology platforms have. But with this integrated solution, we can get it to a point where I can say that if Tejas is currently available, right, dial the call automatically. So utilize the lead that has come in CRM and the integration that it has got with the system to automatically initiate a call and bring down your touch to probably seconds. Second most important activity is, see, we have been talking about this, right? Follow-ups, basic discipline is really important. So if I have to look at the efficiency of my team, okay, normally a CRM platform has a lot of data around lead activities. How many leads, what stage, how many follow-ups, how many site visits, and all of that. Wherein a telephony solution has a lot of data about the efforts that the person has put in terms of how many calls, how many answered calls, what's the talk time, what's the average call duration. See, while both these things are important, right? A agent's performance is not just one of these two. It's that amalgamation that really talks about how am I doing. If I'm making 100 calls and most of them are getting answered, I'm talking to people, right? Doesn't mean I'm a really good guy, because maybe there's a possibility that all these leads are getting unqualified at the end of the day. So when I talk about an integrated platform, I'm bringing both these aspects together. I'm really creating a strong analytical understanding of what my agents are up to. So really point out ki if there's a feedback for marketing, I should do it. If there's a scope of improvement for my agents to do it, I should understand where it is and focus on the holistic data. So that's another advantage that the integrated platform brings to the table. So these measurable insights, it's not just about I did so many calls or I have so many leads to work upon. I think these are all measurable insights that end of the day make a difference. And if you want to optimize your funnel or make the whole process better, I think having measurable insights is the key. It has to be backed by data. And when the data comes and sits in a single frame, I think we really understand where to look at and make it better and make it more efficient.
Perfect. So I guess we have pushed the timeline a little more than what we expected.
Correct.
There were a lot of interesting questions that we got, and well, it was a pretty informative discussion that we had, and I guess our joinees and our attendees who have attended, they would have also got some pretty interesting insights of how they can do things, of how they can take things forward, and what could be their next course of action taking in from here on. Well, I would like to extend my thanks to my esteemed guests, Tejas and VRK. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for sharing your time and sharing your insights. And let's hope we have a fruitful event the next time as well when we connect.
Uttarayan, we'll have some question answers if they have any questions to ask.
I guess, VRK, there are none questions as of now. We have
Okay.
answered
You
whatever
can
questions.
just ask. Audience have any questions, please throw it to us. We will see.
Yes, please, audience, if you have
Please.
any questions, we'd love to take. Well, I guess VRK, in this case, we'll wrap this up here. Thank you so much
All
for your
right.
time again.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
again, and we
Thank
have
you so
even
much.
better
Thanks,
webinars
Tejas, joining in this call. Really appreciate. Thanks, Uttarayan, to making this to
It was
happen.
pleasure talking to
And
everyone.
Biplab,
Thank you, Uttaran,
appreciate.
for the opportunity. Appreciate
Thank
the
you.
patience of the attendees.
Thanks,
Thank
participants.
you so
Really
much,
appreciate
everyone.
your patience. Thanks, Biplab and Uttarayan and Tejas.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. Bye bye. Take care.